Happiness Coach coming at you for day number 68 now. Yes, 68 of the 90-day happiness challenge. So today, first, yesterday I said that was our last energy center we are focusing the loving kindness meditations on, and I got mixed up. It is actually today. So congratulations, we get to do our seventh and final energy center. And in case we were confused about those placements, be it your root, around your coccyx, your tailbone, and then around your sacral, which is about an inch or so away from your belly button, and then just on the inside, about 2 to 3 inches on the inside. And then it's around our solar plexus area, and then it's around our heart, and then just at the tip of the neck right here, where the collarbones meet. And then we're also going to talk about the third eye right here, and then the crown. So whichever energy center you have yet to focus on, go ahead and do that. Make sure you spend that 15 minutes of meditation really diving into what it feels like, what emotions come up when you surround that center with loving kindness, what mental projections come up, what thoughts come up. Okay, we're trying to explore all of these things because it gives us a gauge of the trajectory, let's say, of our growth. In that, these are the things that are stuck in that energy that are keeping us from love in this moment, or that are keeping us held back from living a more authentic and full existent life. So as we do these meditations and we're bringing these healing energies and these healing thoughts to that and giving our body new experiences to hold on to, instead of the traumatic ones of the past, we also want to remember that in order to rewrite a traumatic experience, we have to really be authentic and provide more energy, more excitement, more of the experience in a higher state than what was previously written, than what the experience is previously. Yes. And if that wasn't totally in alignment, then just find another one. That's perfectly okay. Just because we experience one thing that's hard to focus on doesn't mean that we need to avoid this type of topic completely, because there's myriads of ways of exploring loving kindness and embodying emotions. So make sure that you spend about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and in that loving kindness observation mode, right? We're in that observation mode. And I just want to pull up, I want to see if this is going live right now. Yes, it's going live. There we go. I can see. I know I have a huge latency, but I wanted to see if there's anybody that's coming in to comment, making sure that my software is working. So anyway, with this, make sure you spend that time. Devoting the time means that that's self-care. And a lot of us, we might think that self-care is something else, where it's a little bit easier to work with. But we want to make a distinction between like the vanity of self-care and actual self-care. So the practices that allow us to really make lasting change and not superficial change, not fleeting change, okay? Change that only lasts for a few minutes or not even that long. So we want to make sure that we're investing in ourselves with purpose. So if you guys have any questions about your last energy center, what to do, how to go about it, please reach out to me. I am here for you. You can, of course, message me through Facebook, or you can give me an email, send an email to me, and that's Matthew@shamanichappinesscoach.com. Or if you want, you can send me a text message or give me a call. It's 775-800-4271, okay? So what else can I say? Let's just, I don't know, I just got called to pull a card. I have a deck here and I haven't pulled from in a couple days. So here, I'll pull a card for us for our journey to kind of maybe give us some perspective or release. So let's see. For the greatest and highest good of all involved, what is a message that wants to be known for my higher selves, the universe, etc.? Oh, there it is. Got it. I got two. Oh. I love it. Okay. Oh, you can't make this shit up. I love when I'm shuffling because you know when the question hits, when you saw it going kind of crazy, usually if you don't have a good question, it stays in order. And so that's my signal anyway. That's how I like it. So the first question, the card to pull out was the Chariot. And this is beautiful. In case anybody wants to know, it's from the Angel Wisdom Tarot by Radley Valentine. Here you go. Yep. And this one, the Chariot, is about change. It is about change. So this one says, rewards come from hard work, successfully balancing many priorities at once, determination and willpower, public recognition. I love this deck because it has different associations. Excuse me. Oh, this is 2 power cards too. Interesting. 2 major arcana. In the lower arcana, you will see that it has an element on this one that is, instead of having a suit, they use elements now. And then, in this one anyway, which is something really cool to me. And then it shows you the card, the Queen. And then, so the Queen, I believe that's Wands. And then it gives you a little description. And most of the cards also have an associated angel with them. And this one happens to be Metatron, the angel of change and transformation. So for this one, we really want to pay attention to what is changing within our life, and understanding that as we go through these changes, the foundations that supported our old life are no longer there. So whatever was built upon that foundation will probably start to crumble. And if you're feeling that and you're going through that and you're going, wow, and you're doing all these observations, let's be mindful to not get caught up in the internalization or the embodiment of that situation. So sometimes when we are dysregulated, we begin to be that emotion instead of being ourselves. We are overtaken by something and it becomes dysregulating. And we notice this if we're having a moment when our sympathetic nervous system is being engaged, and that means that your system is flooding with adrenaline. Okay, and then what it's doing is turning off your capability of processing in your mind. So your thoughts change, and then your behaviors change, and your emotions reflect that, and then your emotions also encourage those same thought patterns and those same behaviors until you're outside of the stressor that was triggering that scenario, triggering the dysregulation. The issue is that if it's internal change, that stressor doesn't go away until we fully go through it, until we fully release it. Okay, so in this observation mode, we are just witnessing our programming or witnessing what comes up from an ego perspective. We're looking at it from the top down as if we're just watching a movie. And we can watch a movie, right? Sometimes we feel a little bit compelled with the characters, but we can understand. We can take a big deep breath and we can calm that down. Specifically when we are surrounding ourselves with loving kindness, because the frequency and the energies of loving kindness engage the parasympathetic nervous system, which downgrade the sympathetic nervous system. So those are the ones that are the parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for calming your internal chemistry down, returning it to homeostasis. So that means like turning on your digestion, allowing you to think more clearly, those kinds of things. Okay, allowing us to filter toxins better, allowing us to have the identification with thirst and hunger, those kinds of things. Okay, your heart rate returns to regular, so it's not beating as fast. Okay, so that's what we want to do with these loving kindness meditations. So anyway, if you're experiencing anything that is that was built on your previous foundations that's already been changing, understand you're meant to go through that. And the universe is here for you. If you asked, or one of your paths is to identify with more abundance, then maybe that means that the current level of abundance you're in has been maxed out and you need to change positions in whatever that looks like. So the universe might pull the rug out from under your job. And then that means, oh, you need to go find something that's greater for your greatest and highest good. And that's okay. We are in abundance. The only thing that tells us we're not is a programming that would say, like, without a specific job, I won't be secure. That's programming. That is not reality. Reality is the second I find something new, I'm going to have just as good of an existence. And I'll give an example about this. So this is not financial advice. This is not credit advice or anything like that. But I had a conversation with somebody who knows a lot about credit ratings and whatnot. And some of us get super bogged down by our credit rating going, oh my gosh, it's not perfect. That's a societal projection. And the only time that we need a credit rating is if we're trying to get a loan or approved for something. If you're not buying a car, or you're not buying a house, or certain things like that you just really don't need your credit rating for, why would we worry about it, right? We can make plans to correct what's causing any disruptions within that credit rating when we need to do it, when we need to utilize it. So we can be mindful and be aware of that. Up until then, maybe it's time for us to engage in ways that we need support in other ways that might damage our credit rating. I'm not saying do this, of course. What I'm saying is that the fear around utilizing credit keeps us from sometimes having a better life, or maybe you're worried that you can't make a payment or something like that. Well, the truth is you can. It's perfectly available. Divesting your finances is a very, very good idea. But the projection that we might hold on to, that I have to have a credit rating that's like 750 above, that I have to, and if that causes you stress, understand that's programming. You don't have to have that, especially if you're not planning on buying a car or a house for 5 or 10 years. You don't need it for 5 or 10 years down the road. So why would I stress about it in this moment? I can still make plans to correct what's making it, what's decreasing it, but I don't need to stress about it. And so in the same way, we can look at other parts of our life and go, wow, am I utilizing this right now? Do I have to have this perfect idea of what it is, or can I exist with something else? The chances are the answer is yes. So if your life is changing, be okay with that. Allow the change to happen. The more resistance that we have, the more that we suffer. And suffering is 100% a choice. Okay? Pain, not so much. Okay? When we stub our toe, it hurts. Okay? But I don't need to let that one stub toe ruin my day. Such as an example I'll give for context is when I went to, what are we at right now for time? Okay, we're still good. I don't want to go crazy over. When I went to Tibet, prior to that, I was at Burning Man, and I ended up burning myself with some scalding water on my foot. I know, it was stupid dumb, and it was just a moment for transformation. I knew Metatron was with me huge in that moment, and it ended up being about like a 2nd-degree burn or so. And so I'm sitting here going, wow, in the next week I'm going to Tibet, and I'm going to be walking and hiking the whole time almost, minus the travel that we're taking on the bus. But I have to walk and move around the whole time. And so I said, wow, am I going to let my injury dictate my joy of this journey? Or am I going to love into it and say, this is here for my transformation, and whatever difficulties I have along my way, I am meant to experience and go through, right, to learn from. So during that time, it was amazing. I didn't actually have really one problem. I made sure, I had enough bandage material, and I changed my bandage as much as I could. And I actually almost ended up running out of bandage material. It's kind of funny. On the way back, I didn't end up needing as much bandage changes, and so I had to utilize that. But I was able to walk the Kora, which is around Mount Kailash, and it's like 30-something kilometers. I forget exactly what the mileage is, but we went from hiking around, I forget exactly the ascent we did. I want to say it was like 5-kilometer ascent. I don't remember exactly. Anyway, we ended up going all the way up to about 19,000 feet through these really steep mountains and everything. And I didn't have any issue. I allowed that to come through. And even if I was having a little ache or something, I just sent it Reiki, I sent it love, and I said, thank you for being there for my teaching moment. So I did not allow that experience to take away from my experience and my journey, my hero's journey in that moment. Okay? So if that story helps you at all, please take it to heart and translate it in however you might need to. The other card that was pulled now is Strength. So you guys saw how those cards flipped over. And this the Strength card to me also might mean, now that it just dropped, it's also telling me that it could be the reversal or the medicine of the card. Sometimes the decks don't come with reverse, and I don't think this one does. Chariot, what number? This is 11. Strength is 11. It doesn't have a reverse in the book for this deck. Usually that's with Oracle cards, not Tarot. I mean, Tarot does, but for Strength, this one is Archangel Ariel. And so that is the angel of power and courage and things like that. And the card says personal power and assertiveness portrayed with kindness, compassion that brings about forgiveness, realizing that you're stronger than you knew. So the reverse of this card would mean maybe you're pushing too hard. Maybe you do need to slow down and actually take a little bit more self-care, okay? Not take yourself so seriously. And know that you do have the power. You are fully capable. In this space, maybe you're questioning, how do I demonstrate my power? How do I demonstrate courage? And the process to understanding that is going through trials and tribulations. So maybe you're in a space right now that requires you to show up with courage and discover courage within you. And to know that it is there. That's exactly what this would be saying. So yes. So hopefully those two cards helped. What else can I say in this moment? Let's see. I think that's really it. Like I said, if you need to reach out to me, please do. I am here for you in this challenge. This is something that is not, it's not an easy undertaking, so to speak, or it's not a small undertaking, let's put it that way. It can be easy. Difficulty is a choice. It is not a small undertaking. 90 Days of Change requires us to completely uplift our lives. So if you're along this challenge, if you've been called to this challenge, maybe you're tuning in just now, start at day one and see how that goes. Look at my lovely ability at doing lives at that time, and then see how, ignore the context or the performance there. I'm always goofy and I'm always silly. It's never going to be perfect. And I like to demonstrate that because nobody is perfect. That's generally a facade. So if you're called to Stardust and join with us, just, you can start posting what day you're on. That's perfect. If you're on this day, go ahead and do your work and post about it. So share the video and use the hashtags of 90 Day Happiness Challenge. Describe what you felt within that last energy center, what came up for you. And it could be like where you're going, what you're called to bring in, what you're called to release, all of those things, okay? It's your experience. It's not mine, so I can't really dictate it. Also, make sure you tag me so I can find you, Matthew Embry McLean, Shamanic Happiness Coach. So without any further ado, I say light and love, namaste, and go about your day in loving greatness. And tomorrow will be the energy center that is not within our physical body. And I'll do a meditation for us for that one. Okay? With light and love, I say namaste. Bye-bye.